simple and powerful when you get this. This is one of the areas I see so many women slip up. Now, I call this assumption and fact. So, if you think about these two words, assumption and fact, do you remember back in the day, they used to say, don't assume, you'll make an ass out of you and me. And if you think about this, an assumption and a fact, they're two very, very different things. So what I want to think about here is the facts. I call this a reality ratio, and I do this all the time with my clients because you need to base your thoughts on the evidence, on the facts. And if you think about it, the story component, the assumptions, this destroys more relationships than red flags ever will. And it's probably the one you're using every day. So think of it this way, assumptions. So if we go into a conversation with somebody, he hasn't replied, probably doesn't like me. He isn't interested in me. He hasn't replied. So out of that, the fact is he hasn't replied. The assumption is he's not interested. Let's look at another one. Oh my goodness, he's gorgeous. I really enjoy connecting with him. And we build up this is what it's going to look like. The next date will be like this. We're building up this fantasy. We're building up this unreal story in our heads. We are assuming this is the way it's going to go. And the only thing that we do know that is factual so far is we're curious. He's curious. We've met. We've connected. All of the rest can create disappointment. So think of it this way. Somebody cancels or ghosts you. He cancelled. He didn't show up. That's a fact. He doesn't care. That's an assumption. I know a lot of women, when somebody doesn't show up, when they've been stood up, they will automatically believe that, take that on board, they've done something wrong, there's something wrong with them, and they will sit with that. And then there's others that I work with and I'll say, contact him. Sorry we didn't connect. Hope everything's okay. Oh my goodness, I am so glad you reached out. You don't know. And if they don't respond when you reach out, there you go. Maybe they weren't interested. And this is why I say, girls, if you're not interested, if you've been on a date, don't leave the guy assuming. Give them facts. It was great connecting with you. I didn't feel we were heading in the same direction. I didn't feel we were on the same page. However you want to say it, but be honest. If you want somebody to be honest with you, then you have to practice being honest with other people. Remember, you attract who you are. Be the person you want to see. And if you think about it, when we have the evidence, we can go, okay, this is one of the things I say to women all the time. You can't lose what you never had. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I thought we were a match. Well, you weren't a match. You can't lose what you never had. So work on evidence rather than assumption. It will make your life so much better because women become anxious over a situation, and men as well, but because they've made a story and their story becomes bigger than the evidence. He doesn't like me. I don't look pretty. I'm not this. I'm not that. Whatever it might be, let go of it. We didn't connect. We weren't right for each other. It wasn't meant to be. You can't lose what you never had. Thank you very much. And I want you to think about this with everything. How much is evidence and how much is assumption? Which one am I making decisions from? Because if you decide dating's terrible and all men are the same and this isn't working, and you develop that from an assumption, that's a shame. So peace doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from decisions that you make based on reality.